Here are the most disturbing mythical creatures to ever exist or not exist. Hopefully, the chupacabra. We've got the chupacabra, Puerto Rico's goat sucker, the least disturbing creep on this list, but still sketchy enough to make you side-eye your farm animals. Picture a 4-foot lizard dog thing, all scaly with spines sticking out like a punk rock porcupine, red eyes glowing like they're straight out of a bad horror flick, and a serious obsession with draining livestock dry. Since the 1990s, Puerto Rican farmers woke up to goats and chickens dead, with these weird little puncture marks, blood completely gone like a vampire who skipped dental school. In 2007, a Texas rancher caught a blurry video of a hairless dog thing slinking around his barn. It's still circulating on X, with everyone yelling chupacabra or bad CGI. Then in 2015, a Mexican farmer near Oaxaca swore he saw a spiky creature in his fields at dusk. Next morning, his chickens were bloodless husks. Locals whisper it's either a demon spat out from hell or some shady government lab experiment that escaped. You want to keep this thing away? Hang mirrors around your barn or splash holy water. And some folks claim they heard hissing in the bushes before the attacks. There's even an old Taino legend from the 1500s about a serpent beast that drank blood under the moonlight. Sound familiar? Scientists keep screaming it's just mangy coyotes or rabid dogs, but come on, coyotes don't leave bodies looking like juice boxes with straw holes. In 2020, a Puerto Rican ex-post showed a weird creature footprint near a farm. Nobody could explain it. The chupacabras are all over crypto shows like Mountain Monsters, and the Walking Dead fans love comparing it to their zombie dogs. No way, I'm sketching a bloodless goat corpse. Here's a cartoon puppy to keep things chill. You think this thing's real? No one's bagged a chupacabra yet, but if your goats start looking like deflated balloons, maybe it's time to invest in some holy water and a good flashlight. The Jiangshi, China's hopping vampire that's creepy with a side of what the hell. Imagine a dead guy in fancy Qing dynasty robes, arms stiff like he's sleepwalking, hopping after you with glowing eyes and fangs sharper than your ex's insults. Since the 1600s, Chinese folklore says these undead pop up from botched burials or angry spirits out to suck chwai, your life energy, leaving you a husk. They're so stiff they can't bend their knees, so they hop like demonic kangaroos and they're fast. In 1930s Hong Kong, a village lost it when farmers claimed a hopping corpse chased them through rice fields. Graves nearby were dug up like someone or something crawled out. A 2015 X-post from rural Guangdong showed a grainy video of a stiff shadow hopping across a field, went viral, freaked everyone out. To stop a Jiangshi, throw sticky rice at it, or slap a Taoist charm on its forehead like you're tagging it in a horror game. These things star in old-school kung fu horror flicks and sneak into Resident Evil monster designs. Back in the 1800s, Taoist priests would travel villages selling charms to ward off Jiangshi, claiming they'd seen bodies hopping in moonlight. Some stories say they can smell your breath from miles away, so maybe don't eat garlic before bed. In 1970s Shanghai, a family swore their grandfather's body went missing from a morgue, and that night, neighbors heard thumping outside. Spooky, right? No way I'm drawing a hopping corpse. Here's a panda to keep it cute. Are Jiangshi real? Probably not, but if you see a robed figure doing cardio at midnight, you might want to grab some rice and bolt. The Pontianak, Malaysia's ghost vampire that'll make you swear off late-night walks. Picture a gorgeous woman in a white dress, all sweet and flirty, until she flips claws like steak knives, face dripping blood, and a scream that could shatter your eardrums. Since the 1700s, Malay folklore says she's a woman who died in childbirth, now pissed and hunting men and kids for revenge. She lures you with a baby's cry, then either rips you open or slurps your blood like a gory smoothie. In 1950s Kuala Lumpur, villagers swore a screaming woman haunted a river bridge. Men who crossed at night never came back. A 2019 X-post shared a shaky video of a white figure near a cemetery. Malaysia went nuts, and the video's still debated. To keep her away, burn incense or plant thorny branches. But if you smell frangipani flowers, she's already in your face. Back in the 1800s, Malay shamans would perform rituals to bind Pontianaks to graves, using charmed nails, creepy stuff. In the 1980s in Penang, a school teacher claimed she heard a baby cry outside her window, followed by a woman's laugh. Her dog vanished the next day. Pontianaks are in Southeast Asian horror films and supernatural Easter eggs. No way I'm sketching her disemboweling a dude. Here's a kitten to calm you down. Is the Pontianak real? No solid proof, but if you hear a baby crying at midnight, it's probably not a stray cat. The Wendigo, a Canadian monster that'll make you cancel your winter camping plans. Picture a 15-foot skeletal giant with jagged antlers, hollow eyes like black holes, and a stomach growling for human flesh, stalking snowy forests like a horror movie villain. Algonquian tribes since the 1600s say it's a human who turned to cannibalism and got cursed, doomed to hunt forever. In 1896, an Ontario trapper wrote in his journal about a gaunt thing following him, leaving claw marks on trees, his last entry before he vanished. In 1990, Manitoba campers heard unearthly howls and saw a tall figure circling their tent, whispering their names in the wind. A 2017 Michigan trail cam caught a horned shadow in a blizzard. X blew up with Wendigo theories. Burn sage or carry silver to slow it down, but tribes like the Ojibwe say don't even say its name or it'll find you. In the 1920s, a Cree elder claimed he trapped a Wendigo in a frozen lake by luring it with meat. Lakes still avoided today. The Wendigo's in until dawn, Hannibal and supernatural, scaring the hell out of everyone. No sketching that flesh-hungry freak. Here's a snowy owl to keep it chill. Could a Wendigo be real? No fossils yet, but if you hear whispers in the woods, maybe don't stick around to find out. The Skinwalker, a Navajo nightmare that'll make you avoid deserts forever. Picture a witch who kills a family member, usually a sibling, to gain shape-shifting powers, turning into a wolf, bear, or coyote with creepy human eyes that glow like headlights. By day, they're blending in with the tribe, maybe even your neighbor. By night, they're out causing chaos, reading your mind or controlling you like a puppet in a horror show. Navajo lore from the 1800s says these dark witches craft tools from human bones and mix potions from corpse bits. Gross, right? In 1995, Utah's Skinwalker Ranch had a wolf man tear through cattle, then vanish into the desert. A 2014 Arizona camper swore a coyote called his name in his own voice, chasing him through the scrub nightmare fuel. X is obsessed with Skinwalker memes, but Navajo elders say don't even utter the name or you're inviting trouble. Sprinkle white ash or carry a cedar charm to keep them away. Back in the 1970s, a Navajo family claimed their uncle turned Skinwalker after a feud. Livestock started dying and they heard laughter outside at night. Another story from the 1800s says a Skinwalker disguised as a trader sold cursed blankets that made people sick. These creeps are in Supernatural and Skinwalker Ranch docs, freaking everyone out. No way I'm drawing a shape-shifting psycho. Here's a puppy to lighten the mood. Could skinwalkers be real? No one's caught one, but if you hear your own voice calling from the dark, maybe just keep walking. The Cipactli, an Aztec sea monster so hungry it's got mouths on every joint. Picture a cosmic-sized crocodile fish hybrid with elbow mouths, knee mouths, knuckle mouths. Hell, its jaws probably have jaws like a nightmare kaleidoscope. Aztec myths from the 1300s say 4 gods were trying to create the world, but Cipactli kept chomping their work into the primordial ocean, gobbling up mountains like snacks. They teamed up, fought like hell, one lost a foot, and tore Cipactli apart. Its head became the heavens, body the earth, tail the underworld. You're literally walking on its corpse right now. In 1519, Spanish conquistadors heard Aztec priests warn of a many-mouthed beast lurking in sacred lakes around Tenochtitlan. In 2003, Mexican fishermen claimed a scaled thing with too many teeth sank their nets in a lake. Locals avoided it for months. Aztec codices from the 1400s show Cipactli as a chaos monster, and priests would offer blood to keep it satisfied. In 1980s Mexico, a farmer said he saw a toothy shadow in a canal before his crops failed. No way I'm sketching that mouth fest. Here's an Aztec carving to keep it classy. Is Cipactli real? Probably not, but if you see ripples in a lake, maybe skip the swim. The Nuckelavee, a Scottish sea demon so disgusting it'll make you want to bleach your brain. Imagine a man's torso fused to a horse's body. No skin, just black blood pumping through yellow veins, with arms so long they drag the ground and a 3-foot wide head rolling around. The horse part has a gaping mouth spewing toxic green fumes and one flaming red eye that'll haunt your dreams. Orcadian folklore from the 1600s says its breath wilts crops, poisons livestock, and kicks off plagues. In 1722, Orkney Islanders started burning seaweed to make soap and farm better, but the smoke pissed off the Nuckelavee, and it went berserk. Cattle dropped dead, harvest failed, whole islands got screwed. A fisherman named Tamas claimed he saw it on land, spilling every gory detail in a shaky voice. Good news, it can't cross fresh water, so if it's chasing you, leap over a creek and pray. In 2018, an Orkney fisherman swore he saw a skinless beast on a foggy shore. His nets came up empty for weeks. Back in the 1800s, Orkney kids were told to avoid the coast at night or the Nuckelavee would snatch them. No sketching that skinless horror, here's a stormy wave to cool things off. Could the Nuckelavee be real? No one's bagged it, but if you smell decay by the sea, it's probably not just dead fish. The El Silbon. El Silbon, Venezuela's whistling skeleton who's got a seriously messed up family drama. Picture a 6-meter-tall bony creep stalking treetops, lugging a sack of bones and whistling a tune that'll make your blood run cold. Back in the 1800s, he was a spoiled brat who demanded deer meat for dinner. When his dad came back empty-handed, the kid flipped, killed him, and handed his organs to his mom like, "Here's dinner, cook it." Mom figured it out, and the family tied him to a post, whipped him, rubbed chili peppers and lemon juice in his wounds. Ouch, that's next-level punishment, and cursed him to carry his dad's bones forever. 2 rabid dogs were let loose to finish the job. Now El Silbon's whistle screws with you. If it sounds close, you're safe. If it sounds far, he's practically breathing down your neck. He'll park by your house at night, counting his bones one by one. If you hear him, you're good. If he counts till dawn unnoticed, someone's bones are joining the sack. In 2005, a Caracas suburb reported a whistling shadow before a string of disappearances. Locals still avoid whistling at night. In the 1920s, a Venezuelan village claimed a tall figure was seen in the trees after a hunter went missing. Ex-posts still share creepy whistling audio, blaming El Silbon. "No way I'm sketching that bone bag. Here's a bird to keep it light." Is El Silbon real? No proof, but if you hear a distant whistle, you might be screwed. The Manananggal, a Filipino monster so gross it's basically a flying crime scene. Picture an old woman who at night rips her torso clean off her legs, guts dangling like a horror movie prop, sprouts giant bat wings, and flies off to hunt. Since the 1500s, Filipino folklore says she uses a needle-like tongue to suck blood from sleeping victims, newlyweds, lovers, or unborn babies, straight from pregnant women's wombs. She makes a tick-tick-tick sound while hunting, but here's the trick. If the ticking sounds far, she's right above you, just to mess with your head. Her lower half stays behind like a creepy mannequin. Find it and sprinkle salt, ash, or garlic to kill her. If she doesn't reconnect by dawn, she's done for. In 2010, a Visayas barrio freaked out over a winged shadow flapping over houses. Kids were kept indoors for weeks. Back in the 1800s, Filipino priests would bless homes to ward off Manananggals, claiming they'd seen half-bodies in the jungle. A 2021 ex-post shared audio of ticking in a Cebu village. Nobody slept that night. Manananggals star in Filipino horror flicks and creep into the Walking Dead fan theories. Could she be real? No flying torsos caught yet, but if you hear ticking in the dark, grab the garlic and pray. And the Black Annis, the scariest of all. Black Annis, England's witch monster who'll make you never leave your house again. Picture a blue-faced hag with iron claws holed up in a cave she scratched out with her own hands, eating kids and tanning their skins for curtains. Yeah, she's that kind of interior decorator. Leicestershire folklore from the 1200s says she lurks in the Dane Hills, snatching children and livestock like a nightmare boogeyman. In 1874, a village reported a clawed figure near a cave. Kids went missing that year, and parents stopped letting them play outside. A 2020 ex-post showed a dark shape in the Dane Hills, and locals lost their minds. Some still won't hike there. Hang rowan branches or pray like hell to keep her away. She hates that stuff. Back in the 1600s, villagers would carve charms into trees to trap her spirit, and some say her cave still smells like blood. In 1980's Leicester, a hiker claimed he heard scratching and saw a blue face in the shadows. He never went back. Black Annis is in horror novels and The Walking Dead fan theories as a survivor's worst fear. No way I'm sketching kidskin curtains. Here's a puppy to keep you from crying. Is Black Annis real? No cave of skins found yet, but if you hear scratching in the hills, you're totally, completely, absolutely done for. Subscribe so you don't miss our next batch of creepy crap. Catch you next time.